I am so excited to show you some slime and two different ways of making slime. Are you ready for our slime
We are
demonstration?
so ready.
Slime
And I
time.
heard it was going to be, you would promise sparkly slime. Is there sparkles?
Sparkly slime.
Okay.
I also promise it will be slime-tastic in two different ways. So, um, those of us joining at home, we have the ingredients for slime that are on our virtual booth, the Vertex virtual booth. So you can download this and take a look at it. And I will talk through the ingredients. They are very simple. There's two different ways to make slime. The first one we'll do is going to have a few more ingredients, and the second one you might find you have all the ingredients around the house. So I'm going to talk and get ready to make our slime and start to set out my materials. And as I'm talking, I'm going to talk a little bit about why at Vertex we're interested in slime and also in boogers and mucus and how it's important to the science that we do. So you're going to need a bowl. And then I'm going to make some sparkly slime today. I'm going to also make purple sparkly slime because purple is the color of Vertex, and I just really love the color purple. So we're called Vertex because we actually do science really at the meeting of two different kinds of science. We do lots of different kinds of science, but the two different kinds of science that are mainly done on our research labs is chemistry and biology. So we're kind of at the vertex of those two disciplines. And so we have a lot of people that know a lot about chemistry and a lot of people that know a lot about biology. And we work on diseases that are really rare and really, really serious. So we're going to try and squeeze. You can see I'm having a little trouble. We're going to squeeze out all of this glue. So just one bottle of glue. And then we're going to add half a teaspoon of baking soda. So baking soda, really great for lots of different home science experiments. If you mix this with vinegar, you get lots of cool bubbles or lemon juice that are made of carbon dioxide. We talked all about carbon dioxide yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead and put half a teaspoon into my slime. My glue. So it's just glue so far and slime. And then I'm going to add, I'm going to mix that. So you just kind of want to mix those two together. So making sure to really thoroughly mix in the baking soda, right? So I'm just going to make sure I've covered all my bases. So it said get a bowl, check, done. I'm really good at getting the bowl. And then I'm going to put the entire glue. So I put 6 ounces of glue in here. I chose sparkly purple glue, but you can choose any kind you like. I have alternatives are pink or just regular old white glue is also good. We're going to make our next one that has laundry detergent in it just with regular white glue because it makes a really pretty blue color. All right, so let's thoroughly mix. So add our baking soda and mix thoroughly. Check. Dunsky. And then the next is we're going to add water. So I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of water. It basically says that if you add a little bit more water, you'll have more stretchy, kind of thinner slime. And the less water you add, the thicker the slime will be. And so this is kind of getting back to the science that we do at Vertex. So one of the reasons we do this slime demonstration is because one of the diseases that we work on and that we make medicines to make people feel better for is called cystic fibrosis. And cystic fibrosis, the disease has the problem that people have when they have this disease is that they have really thick, sticky mucus in their lungs and in other organs of their body. And this really changes how their body functions. And it turns out mucus is actually really important to functioning of our body. Okay, I'm going to pause talking to you about cystic fibrosis and the importance of boogers and mucus. I'm going to make sure that I'm ready to make my slime. So this is actually where it's going to start to congeal and come together. We're going to add something called contact solution. So you can get this at just kind of any pharmacy. You could probably find it at your neighborhood grocery store. So we're just going to add a little bit. It says how much to add, which is a 1.5 tablespoons. I kind of eyeball it because I've done this a lot. So I'm just going to kind of spray it in. You know, when you kind of have cooked something a lot, I've made a lot of slime in my life. Now the fun part. 2 clean hands. None of this is toxic, so make sure that you wash your hands after before touching anything, but you can kind of just get in there and start mixing it. And then you'd be actually surprised at how much you have to start kneading it to really get it kind of getting going, getting really sticky and slimy. You can start it starting to really start to come together. So I'm going to keep stretching it and getting it kneading. If you get it stuck on your hands, as you can see, I sort of am. It's kind of fun though, kind of calming. Very tactile. You can, if you want to prevent that, you can put a little moisturizer or baby oil on your hands, or even just like olive oil, kitchen oil. That'll keep it from sticking. But I don't mind it, you know? I kind of like it. So, okay, so what does mucus do for our bodies that is good? So you can think about the times when you have lots of mucus, and it's usually when you're sick. And so turns out that mucus it serves this really important role. This is so fun, you guys. I really hope that you make slime and play with it at home. So find those ingredients. Um, so mucus has a really important role in our normal biology, keeping our body free of different kinds of debris and different kinds of germs, right? And so when you're sick, you make a little bit more of that mucus, and it helps to trap and eliminate those pathogens, those germs from our nose and our respiratory tract, like our lungs. And so people who have this disease called cystic fibrosis, before they were able to take our medicine, before we figured out this really cool type of medicine to fix the problem in their body, they were made this really thick, gloopy mucus. So think about if your mucus was like this and not thin, like mucus is supposed to be, like more slimy. It really, really makes it so that they would have to wear these vests that would shake the mucus. And so now Vertex worked really, really hard. All the chemists and the biologists and the computer scientists and the people who know lots about DNA, the people who work on genomes, they worked really hard together, and they worked and they made this really cool medicine. And so there are a bunch of different kinds of medicine that we make. But one of the most successful and transformative medications that we make is for people with cystic fibrosis. And it makes it so that they are able to live with much more normal consistency mucus and have a much happier life. And so I'm really excited to be part of a company that really makes people's lives better using science. So super fun. I really do think that we're all about the science of possibility. So the possibility of changing people's lives with the power of science. So that is your cool multi-ingredient. Now we're going to make a much simpler version of slime. So the next kind of slime, I'm going to grab a new bowl. So that is on page 1 of the document that you can find on our virtual booth. So Vertex's virtual booth will have this document. You can make this at home. Super easy, folks, and really, really fun. Okay, so second type of slime that we're going to make is basically 3 ingredients. So it's going to have glue, it's going to have water, and it's going to have laundry detergent. Okay, optional ingredients, fun stuff like food coloring. You might have food coloring around the house. Love adding colors to it. It's already going to be a little bit blue because I'm using Tide, which is already blue in color. Other ideas, some glitter could be really cool. You could also use the glitter glue like I did for the previous one that had more ingredients in it. So unfortunately, I don't have a clear bowl. I only have one clear bowl at home. So we're going to use this bowl. This is actually usually for my cookies, so I'm going to clean it well after this, I promise. All right, here we go. So second type of slime, I'm going to use this whole thing of glue. I'm going to just pour it in there. This one is a little bit less gloopy than my glitter glue was, so having a little bit easier time. So I want to tell you a little bit about what we do in the Learning Lab. So we are super excited about inspiring the next generation of scientists, and that means a lot of you at home. So I want all of you to think about all of your science classes at school and thinking about those as like potential careers. Like you could become a scientist and work in a lab and do all sorts of cool things like we're doing here, except for that could be your job, right? And then making people feel really so much better by making a transformative medication. The people who work in our labs know that every day they're doing something to make people's lives better through science. So they love their jobs. They know they're helping people. So I really want you to think about a career in science. Okay, I am going to follow my directions. Sometimes I'm not very good at it. I get so excited talking about what I do at Vertex that I forget what I'm doing. Okay, so mix together equal amounts of white glue and water. So I'm going to put some water in, and then I'm going to mix it. So a little bit of water, just eyeballing it. Kind of fun thing about something like slime is like, it's just going to be a different consistency a little bit if you do it, if your proportions are a little bit off. You could do it really, really, super precisely, but I think it's kind of fun to kind of experiment a little bit. So equal amounts water and glue. I hope you can see this. Kitchen science. Okay. So next, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup. I actually already measured this out This is a quarter cup of, this is just regular Tide. You can use any kind of laundry detergent. And so I'm going to pour that in. All right, so I'm pouring that in. You can kind of see what it looks like. All right, and then I'm going to start to mix it. And then after I mix it a little bit with this measuring spoon, which is probably really not the best mixing spoon that I could find in my kitchen, but you know, we're getting by here. Labs are so much better for these kinds of things. But you know what? You can do a lot of cool science in the kitchen. And in a second, I'm going to show you something that I made in my kitchen that is kind of a lot like slime, but we're going to eat it tonight. And it's called pizza dough. So the other cool sciencey thing about slime is that what we're making is actually a polymer. So we're actually, as I knead it, I'm actually making a polymer, and that's going to be what's going to make it really thick and sticky. I'm just trying not to spill everything in my kitchen here. So you can see it kind of coming together. It's becoming kind of semi-solid. This is so messy and so fun, y'all. I really hope that you find some time to make a mess.
The sound,
hi, y'all.
man.
How's it going?
Deborah, the sound, the squishy sound.
Squishy.
Yeah, it's
squishy.
something.
Yeah, awesome.
It's pretty great.
When you add that detergent, does it glop up right away?
It takes a little time, you know, and I didn't really do a great job mixing it, so it's kind of congealing at different rates in different parts of it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing a great job showing this on camera, am I?
No,
it
works
looks
for
really
us.
good. Yeah, we do a
I'm really dropping it everywhere.
Yeah. Over at Mad Science, we do just a slightly different version. Instead of using just water and laundry detergent, we use salt water and borax. And then polyvinyl alcohol as well. That makes a really awesome slime. Oh, Deborah,
we will have to add that to our ingredient list. Well, I just wanted to finish up by telling you about some edible polymers. So this is my pizza dough that I'm going to make dinner with later. And so we talked about carbon dioxide later. So you can see some of those bubbles in there. So another kind of thing that has polymers in it is pizza dough. So there are lots of examples of science in our kitchen. And there are lots of ways that you can do science that's not edible, like slime. Don't eat the slime. You can eat pizza dough. These polymers are good. Don't eat those polymers. But I wanted to encourage you to really take this time. I know that you're away from your normal school setting in a lot of situations, but really take this time to take science into your own hands, get messy, and really explore, because it's really, really all about experimenting and having fun. So this was really fun. Thank you so much for making slime with me.
Cool, guy. It turned out so good. And I've made slime a number of times over the last couple of years. Rob, you're apparently a slime expert.
It never gets old. Deborah will tell you. I mean, I've made thousands of batches. It's very, as kids like to say these days, it's very satisfying.
Deborah's giving us the Vanna White show of slime. And
this is definitely my favorite.
And she's making pizza later tonight, which pizza has that same satisfying stretch.
Yeah.
It does. I want to encourage you all to get tactile in the kitchen.
Get tactile in the kitchen. All right, Deborah, we're going to let you go. Thank you very much.